Last week we had our friend Ben on as we talked about Glee, religion, and cheese sandwiches. And that's what you missed on Gleeboot.
That's good.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Gleeboot, the show where we get drunk and talk about rebooting Glee. I'm Cullen.
Alyssa.
I'm Hannah.
And we have our special guest, the number one Glee fan in the world, Michael.
Yay.
Hello.
He just loves Glee so much.
I really do.
Let him tell it.
Yeah.
Let him tell it.
Okay, yeah. Let's get right into my Glee history. Glee came out when I was in high school, and I knew about it when it came out, but I really didn't watch it much. Maybe like an occasional episode here and there when it just was on TV in my house. I had friends that were super into it, but I was never really into it. But I did have some, and I still never watched it much, but I had some experience with the music through Pandora in college, the Pandora radio. Did y'all ever use that?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. I still use that.
Really?
Wow.
I do.
I didn't know it was still a thing.
It is.
Yeah, I like covers a lot, and so just kind of playing around on Pandora with different cover artists and stuff. Naturally, Glee eventually came up, and I enjoyed lots of the songs I heard from Glee. I really got into, I don't know what season this was, is the Neil Patrick Harris and Schuester. It's an Aerosmith song. Dream On.
Oh,
They do
Dream
Dream
On.
On.
Yes.
I really liked that. I watched the video of that a million times.
Wow.
And that's
Yeah, that's
my history with Glee up until yesterday.
Wait, so let me get this straight. The only part of Glee you actually watched was the Dream On song.
Yes and no. I know I've seen parts of episodes. I couldn't tell you what was going on. I was familiar. I'm familiar with I recognize the characters and stuff. And so I've seen, clips or parts of episodes here and there. But the thing I've watched the most is that video for sure.
Okay, good to know.
That's hilarious because I remember on the Dream On episode, I was like, I think this cover might be better than the original. Controversial opinion.
I think I'm there with you.
Yes.
Sweet. Awesome. Number one Glee fan.
That's right.
Hannah, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking gin and Diet Coke. Yeah, I don't have a Glee name for it. I should have thought of that. Shit.
A Diet Glee.
Diet Glee. Sure.
I'm drinking cyanide. That's just what my cup says. I have a glass.
She's
that
ending
says
it all.
Cyanide.
She's had a
On
rough
air.
time in quarantine with me.
I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little hard. Not
Wow.
because of Cullen.
Okay. I was like, wow.
Thanks.
Just because, life.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a grasshopper.
A Glee hopper.
What is that?
Oh boy, a Glee hopper is creme de menthe, creme de coco, and heavy whipping cream.
Oh, wow.
1/3 parts each.
Damn.
It's very, very good.
It tastes like a boozy Shamrock Shake.
Oh,
That sounds good.
that is very timely.
I don't like shamrock shakes.
But you like these.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say it doesn't taste like a boozy shamrock shake.
Because she's a hater.
I don't like shamrock shakes.
Alyssa's anti.
But I like this.
How can you hate such a small indie corporation like McDonald's?
They are really struggling, especially now. Support your small businesses like McDonald's.
I'm drinking something our friend Kayla left at our house. It is called True...
Before the quarantine happened.
Before the quarantine. We're good citizens. It's a truly hard seltzer. It is with a hint of raspberry lime. So it's what I imagine Rachel Berry would drink when she's 21.
Yeah.
Rachel Berry sounds like it could be a flavor.
Oh my god. I have so many ideas now. Thank you for that.
Wait, so that's the Glee drink name of the Truly.
It's a Rachel
Yeah.
Berry.
It's a Rachel Berry.
Everyone's getting a
Yeah.
Truly flavor. That's what's happening. Everyone's getting a Truly flavor.
Even Susie Pepper.
Yes! So good. I'm writing it down.
All right.
Okay, we'll go with I'm drinking topical a Corona.
Oh,
Oh,
triggered.
Wow. I'm offended.
Was your all's last record during this time? Have you all
Yeah.
spoken
Yeah,
about what's
last
going on
it
in the
was,
world?
yeah.
Gotcha.
It was like right when we were first, like that morning is when I was first like, oh shit, this is serious.
It was
Yeah.
before they officially locked down the city of LA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, crazy times.
Yeah.
It's the perfect time for me to get into Glee.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing for everybody out there.
And you got really lucky because this is a fun ep. I don't know, according to the standards of people who have watched a lot of Glee. I don't know about yours. But this one's pretty fun.
I actually
It's-
really liked it.
Yeah, it is definitely like the least offensive episode I've seen.
That's
It's so good.
honestly that's been an interesting part of watching this because it's not even like an old show, but it's older 10 years ago or whatever, and just how much more they like get away with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like, what? This happened in this like century?
Yeah.
Asian jokes.
Oh, yeah. Lots of oh.
Uh-huh.
Glee loves an offensive Asian joke. Flashback to Howard Bamboo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Howard.
Does Howard ever come up again?
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
I hope he's
Is that
running
season
sheets
1?
and things.
Did he get an official name change?
No.
No,
Hmm.
probably not.
All right, so our storylines for the episode Duets, they're all pretty well connected. It's centered around a duet competition. We have Finn and Rachel, we have Kurt, we have Sam and Quinn, we have Santana and Brittany, and we have Tina. Who do we want to start with?
Is this a question for me or just in general?
So wait. What's the breakdown again?
We have Finn and Rachel and Kurt. We have Finn and Rachel, we have Kurt, and we have Sam. And those, whenever we address one, we'll kind of have to address all three because they're pretty well connected. And then we have the Santana and Brittany and the Tina and Mike.
Okay. Cool. And then so Artie is in with Santana
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah. I just didn't want to dignify Artie by naming him.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
actually
you
like
for that.
realizing that a lot of these storylines really actually interact really heavily with one another, so this is going to
Yeah.
be interesting.
The whole episode, I think this is one of the first times that Glee has actually done like one single through line without a bunch of subplots that like
Yeah.
don't branch off into nowhere.
Yeah, the branches kind of like stay within the limitations and it all makes sense in the episode. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I might say this is a well-structured episode.
Whoa.
High praise.
And there's no Will Schuester plot.
Oh, so
Yes!
refreshing. I think that's why I liked it because like it was almost all focused just on the kids. Like she was the only adult besides Bert a little bit. So it was great.
Yeah.
And they
How-
didn't have any part of the story. They just had a couple of lines randomly, and that was it. And they weren't even offensive, really.
How often is Sue not in an episode?
Ah, that's a good question.
Oh, Sue wasn't in this.
Neither
I
was
would say
Emma.
she's maybe not in an episode, maybe like 30% of the time. What do you say?
Okay.
Yeah, maybe every couple episodes she just like decides to not show up.
She's busy. She has a life.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
3 out of 10 episodes she's not in.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably pretty average.
Yeah. We just had Will being like, oh ho ho, like he was doing like awkward lines, and I'm like, you know what? I'd rather have awkward teacher Will than Will as a character that's singing Ice Ice Baby.
100%. And inappropriately touching the children. Okay, let's go.
Let's just go down the list.
All right.
Finn and Rachel.
Let's start with Finn and Rachel. So they are excited about the duet competition. They sing a cover of Don't Go Breaking My Heart to each other. It's poppy. It's fun. I liked it.
How did we get to duet competition? I know there was a reason we ended up there.
Well, it started Will writes duets, and he's like, what's a duet? And Brittany's like, a blanket.
Yes.
I love how Finn is always so supportive of her like stupid responses because he's like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Oh wait, so like it's great.
Yeah, there was. I think I noticed like a quick shot of Finn looking up to her and smiling when she said that. I was like, that little shot was not needed, but it's like fun. I've fallen in love with Brittany. She's so goofy and dumb and fun.
She is just coming into her own. Character. It's great to see. And she gets a little bit of depth this episode, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of a far stretch, though, from going from duet to, what, duvet?
Duvet, yeah.
Yeah.
But whenever someone says the word duvet, this is what I think of.
Okay, so reverse engineered. Got it.
Yeah, so Finn, not Finn, so William Schuester, whoever this character is, he assigns them all a duet competition because people liked their diva off for Defying Gravity last season. So he's going to have the winner gets a coupon to Olive Garden. I mean, Breadstix.
Exactly, yeah.
Olive Garden has to be better than Breadstix. It has to be.
Before I go ahead.
Go ahead.
Before I forget, the Breadstix name was funny to me, and I liked how obsessed they are with it. But maybe this should wait until the end. But the breadsticks that they actually have there,
wait,
I
what?
didn't like the breadsticks that are at the restaurant. Not a fan.
Yeah,
not a fan of what they showed.
They're actual like breadsticks, like how they would have in like Italy, from what I understand. Like actual breadsticks are supposed to be crunchy, and so I thought that was like an interesting play. But like I think a lot of people who like Olive Garden or who've at least had an Olive Garden breadstick might agree that like those are better than breadsticks.
100%.
Like a long crouton.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. You can. That's like an improvised weapon in D&D.
Yeah, it is. How often do you come across an Olive Garden or a breadsticks?
Yeah, in my Cullen's corner, in reasons I shouldn't be allowed to eat in public, even outside of a quarantine, I lost a deep-throating breadsticks competition at an Olive Garden once.
What?
This Cullen's corner is golden.
We've all been there before.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was the last time I was at an Olive Garden.
You're banned now for life.
Banned for life. Yeah.
The last time I was at an Olive Garden, my brother blew his straw wrapper into the neighbor's table soup.
We're all banned from Olive Garden. Yeah. Okay, so they're all, as Michael mentioned, they're all obsessed and excited with eating at Breadsticks. And so they sing Don't Go Breaking My Heart, Finn and Rachel, and then Rachel's like, I'm a selfish person, and you inspire me to be kinder and more open, and I want someone else to win this, so then we're more unified as a team at Nationals. I want Sam to win this, because we need him, especially because Puck is in juvie. Just he couldn't be there this episode. It's awkward because that real actor went to jail. Yeah, and then
not during that moment, though.
After the show.
Yeah, way after.
Where was he during this moment?
I think.
Did they actually write him out?
I think it was probably like he had like a scheduling conflict, because like that happened with that weird Mike guy.
Matt.
Season 1, Matt, whatever his name is. Yeah, he had spider eggs in his ears, and I was like, oh, this is the same exact thing they're doing.
That was the reason they gave for him not being there. Was he had spider, or that happened in real life?
That was the
No.
reason they gave.
Yeah,
Okay.
some character in season 1, they were like, he has spider eggs in his ear, and I'm like, what the fuck, Glee writers?
That's an insane choice, but I like it.
Yeah, he's in juvie, and they're all like, "Oh, it's a matter of time." And they're like, "Will's like, where's your compassion?" And we're all like, "Puck sucks." So like,
Exactly, 100%.
Also, high schoolers suck, so I wouldn't expect compassion from a high schooler any single day of the year.
dark but accurate.
Always what I go for.
Yeah. So Rachel is like, I want to win this, or I want Sam to win this competition, so he feels like he belongs in the Glee Club and can support us at nationals. And Finn's like, but I love breadsticks. It's like so softly.
I don't understand what everybody's obsession with this restaurant is.
It's nonsensical.
There's only one restaurant in their entire town. It's Breadsticks.
That might actually be it.
And then Finn's like, well, technically you're doing something selfish because you want us to win nationals, which is good for you. And she's like, let's not unpack that.
I'm going to ignore what you just said.
So they decide that they want Sam to win the duet competition. This starts out with Finn asking Sam not to do a duet with Kurt because it'll put a target on his back and draw too much attention. And we'll get to Kurt and Sam after we finish with Finn and Rachel. But oh boy.
Yeah, this is hard.
Maybe we better just jump into to Kurt and Sam.
Yeah, so Kurt, when Sam walks in, Will introduces Sam, and Kurt is like, he's totally team gay, and Mercedes is like, I don't know, and he's like, no man dyes his hair to look like, I don't know what celebrity he mentioned.
Someone from the 90s.
No man dyes their hair unless they're gay, which is a really strange stereotype.
Yeah.
There's
so I
a
feel
lot
like
of
men dye their hair.
There's a lot of weird like conceptions that the show is making Kurt deal with so that they can explain that, like, oh, not all of these things are true, it's way more nuanced. It's so strange. Poor Kurt, having to bear the brunt of all of that.
Kurt having to invent the gay experience.
Oh boy.
And so Kurt asks Sam to duet, and Sam's like, isn't duet a girl guy thing? And he's like, oh no, ask like Gene Kelly and make him laugh from Singing in the Rain.
Hey.
Which I'm like disappointed we didn't get to see them do a Singing in the Rain cover.
Yes,
but
I actually really wanted Kurt and Sam to do a duet.
Yeah, I agree.
I really wanted it.
But they do that song later.
What?
Make them
Oh,
laugh.
they do, yeah.
You can't bring it up. If it didn't happen in this episode, it hasn't happened.
But I also thought that was just like really funny because like it's like a goofy song and like the Mike song is really goofy. I have so much to talk about with that. Sorry. I'm so excited to talk about that.
So
Can I just point out the minute that Kurt said that Sam dyed his hair blonde, I immediately rebutted with, his hair is not dyed.
Yeah, it doesn't look that like insane, like to where it would be called out. I think the haircut's the like weirder part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
The haircut's atrocious.
Nah, he definitely looks like some full-on blonde people that I know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I think it looks pretty normal blonde. If anything, maybe just like a little bit of lightener. Like maybe he did actually put lemon juice in his hair. I don't know.
yeah, and the actor is blonde.
Which we haven't gotten to the lemon juice part yet, but
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kurt he asks him to duet, and Sam is like, all right, he gives him his word. And then Finn goes up to Kurt and is like, you can't ask Sam to do a duet with you. And Kurt is like, once again, your internalized homophobia or your
Closeted
underground
homophobia.
seeps to the surface, which is true. And this is a classic Glee messy, what I want to call it, because Finn has a point in that how people will react to Sam, but Kurt has a point in that it shouldn't matter and he can't live his life thinking based on what other people are thinking. And it's a classic Glee messy where no one is really right, but everyone's wrong.
Here's a question I have regarding this like perceived issue. So they don't perform these duets like in front of anybody but themselves, and it's made very apparent that like nobody gives a shit about the Glee Club.
Right.
Like, why will this be an issue? Why would anybody know that they're singing a duet together anyway?
I think
Ryan Murphy just screamed wherever he was because someone figured it out. Someone destroyed my internal logic.
Yeah. I think there's an underlying assumption that like any number that they do with the hopes of like it's technically practice for their upcoming competition. So I think the underlying assumption is that like if this duet wins, then they would have to do that duet at a competition.
Okay.
I think because like that's kind of how they treat these numbers. Like I give you this lesson because we're testing out a bunch of numbers we could do at sectionals or whatever. It's
I
so
don't know
weird.
though, because like when Finn was explaining this to Sam, because he eventually does go to Sam and tries to explain how this sort of devolvement of popularity will happen. He's like, if you do this duet now, in I don't know, like doesn't he say like in a couple of weeks you're gonna be the lowest of the low or something like that?
Yeah, but it's like how do people find out that's even gonna happen? So
they
like
don't. It's all just rumors anyway. The fact that there was a rumor that they might have done something together is probably, he's probably already in the garbage bin.
My only reasoning for this could be that I've noticed the doors to their choir room are always open, and I can't imagine them being any louder than they are in there. So inevitably, everyone's gonna see what's going on or hear what's going on. So maybe that's the reason.
That's the reason why the school hates Glee Club.
Yeah, it has nothing to do
so
with the fact
loud.
that they're singing these like show tunes. It's the fact that they're loud.
Yes.
And they're in like a soundproof room because like a choir room is supposed to be somewhat proofed, but then they just leave the door open.
Yeah, the door is wide open.
They're just like, I try to do my math homework, and the Glee Club is discovering their sexuality every 10 minutes.
Oh my god, I want a spin-off of the study hall room that is inevitably across the hall, in which the Glee room is open all the time, and they're just singing, and everyone's trying to do their homework.
What about a spin-off of just the band that has to play for them?
Oh my goodness. More about that.
We've talked about that before.
Can we roll back a couple of scenes to when Finn and Rachel were singing Don't Be Breaking My Heart? Or
Don't go breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Don't be breaking my heart.
Bust your windows through your car.
That didn't sound right. Yeah, okay. Rachel touches the piano player on the head, like she ruffles his hair.
Yep, like he's a little boy.
Yes, It was very disturbing. Unnecessary touching of the piano player. Red flag.
Rachel likes to touch people when she sings. Remember when she slapped Finn's butt? They were singing that Smile song.
I was trying to forget it. I was in the process, Cullen. How dare you? I have to go back to the first stage of grieving now.
It's weird because I don't feel as strange about it when she touches people she actually knows and talks to, but when she touches this total stranger, because we don't know anything about any of the people who play any of the instruments.
We know his name is Brad.
Yeah,
He does have a name?
I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I think they say it like once every season, maybe.
He seems to be the most like prevalent member of the band, from what I can tell. I watched a few episodes before this one, and then I've been watching it since. So I've been able to see these band members, and I like this piano man, Brad. And I wish this seems like a perfect person to just kind of like give him a line or two, some funny little quip.
One of our Gleeboot suggestions was to bring these band characters in and give them actual names and backstories and, plot lines.
I feel like in real life, the piano player would be the Glee teacher.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like what? Also, yeah. Like so, the one of the episodes around here, I think it was the first episode of the season. They talk about like budget cuts,
Yeah.
and from what I can tell, the current budget of the Glee Club is $60 billion.
Yeah, exactly. How much does it cost to produce Glee? That's how much William McKinley High School gives to their Glee Club. Yeah, no, like, what a waste of money. You're right. Like, they have a separate piano player when really, like, the choir / Glee Club guy should be the piano
do it
player
all,
and
yep.
teacher.
Unless
he's the
band teacher?
Yeah, interesting.
Now
probably
I
what it
really
is.
want to spin off of the band
Yep.
kids.
It's in the works. Like, I can feel it happening right now.
Yeah. So where are we in this plot?
No idea.
Bouncing all
We're
over
on-
the place. We're with Kurt, I think.
Oh
Kurt
yeah,
and
we're
Finn.
Kurt and Sam.
yeah, because Finn tells him not to, and then
Yeah.
Kurt goes home to his dad, who just had a heart attack in his home, and he makes him some like vegan dinner. And he asks his dad, he like talks to his dad about what's going on at school, and he's like, Finn doesn't think I should do it. And the dad kind of sides with Finn, and he's like, how could you side with Finn after what he called me that one time? And then he talks about like, Kurt, well, you didn't tell me that you had a crush on him and you were acting kind of creepy, which, if we can recall from when he was watching Finn through the window, he was being creepy.
Kurt loves a
he's
good
real
lurk.
creeper.
He loves a good lurk.
Yeah, so he's like, maybe you're trying to kind of force this kid into something he's uncomfortable with, which I don't know if singing a duet is considered sexual advances that are uncomfortable.
Well,
No, well,
I think maybe what he's trying to get at is to like have Kurt think about if he has any underlying motivations before he's
Right.
like being like, yeah, let's do this duet. Like if he's doing it to like welcome him into the club and be friendly, that's fine. But if he is trying to like do something a bit more, malicious, then like maybe he should just think about that.
Yeah, the vibe I got was not necessarily like malicious, but just that I think Kurt thinks, right off the bat, he thinks that Sam is like also gay, and then I think kind of goes after him as a potential like partner.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess those are like his. I mean, of course, there are Glee Club motivations, but I think the romantic motivations are kind of like at the front.
Yeah,
I would agree. He is doing it because he wants a romantic relationship with Sam.
because doesn't he do this? He does kind of the same idea with Finn in season 1, where they're like paired up together. So like, yeah, it's kind of like I think it's kind of interesting. Like, if you had watched the whole first season and come up to this point, you would see that reflection, be like, oh, so he's doing it again, and now he's being forced to think about what his motivations are to do that. I think that's interesting.
Well, one of the more, like, it is really interesting and that they mirror it like that, but then I also find it really interesting that Finn is kind of turned into, I don't know, like a pseudo bad guy for talking to Kurt about this.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of what he says is really offensive, but a lot of what he says is really true, which is like what Cullen said. Where, what would you say? Glee mess?
A Glee mess where no one is right, but everyone's wrong.
Yeah. Because I really agreed with what Finn said when he's like, I don't take issue with you being gay. I take issue with the fact that you don't know that no means no.
Yeah.
And I think that pretty much sums up Kurt to a T, at least this point in his character. He really doesn't understand that no means no. But the issue is that with that particular plot point, I suppose, is that like Sam didn't say no. Like, there was no very obvious like Kurt is actually coming on to him. They're just singing a duet. So it feels kind of off balance.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about his conversation with his dad, too. It's like really off balance because there's no overt action from Kurt at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of like maybe it's the show like putting that assumption in there. It's kind of, I think it's gonna be too reflective of what we know about Kurt. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I definitely agree. But like Finn also goes like, if you did what you did to me, if like I did what you did to me to a girl, she would file a restraining order or something like that.
Which is fair.
Which is fair. So I'm like, that's an interesting way to frame it, that like we're now getting into the nuances of like privilege, and yeah, it's very nuanced, and it's weird because it's Glee.
Mm-hmm.
Glee covers every single topic, but none of them well. That's what we come back to.
The theme of the show. It is nuanced, and it is nice that they finally give Finn a say in that, but it is off balance because Kurt's behavior right now isn't really the time.
Yeah, the conversation wasn't really warranted with the scenes that we saw.
Yeah, it's not like he's like, we're gonna do a musical number and I'm gonna like touch your nipples or something. He's like, we're just gonna sing a duet. We're gonna sing like a Gene Kelly duet.
Yeah, he didn't even say like a romantic song. He literally was like, make him laugh from this musical, which is not, it doesn't have anything to do anything romantically, that song. So like with Kurt and Finn in season 1, he was talking about a romantic song. So yeah. It does. It kind of feels like too much of the writers in that making that conversation about like Kurt needs to figure out his motivations and set more boundaries and just figure things out. Yeah, definitely off balance for sure.
Yeah, their only interaction before Kurt is spoken to by Finn is it's just that hallway scene. That's like literally it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Kurt's just like, you dye your hair, and Sam's like, I don't, and he's like, yeah, right.
Right.
Well, I mean, honestly, at that point, Kurt almost like, he's basically like, oh, maybe you really are straight. So
yeah, he does
immediately with that line, I was like, okay, so the romantic motivation is out because now Kurt thinks he's straight. It just was not well placed.
Yeah. And that means also like the show is also banking on the fact that we all agree that men who dye their hair must be gay or something else is odd about them. Like, so it's also it's trying to make us buy into that, which again, this was 9 years ago. Look how far we've come, guys.
Oh, so proud.
What are we going to be saying in 2029?
Wow, that coronavirus, huh?
Oh, wait, we're not going to be here in 2029.
Whoa,
what?
You mean? Alyssa, have you seen into the future?
Yeah, what do you know?
I'm not allowed to tell you.
Oh, shit.
And that took a turn. Yeah, it's definitely, it's an interesting storyline. It's one of the last times before we have Kurt with a lot of nuance, so I'm going to appreciate it for what it is. Yeah, and so Sam is all like, I gave Kurt my word, I'm going to do this duet with him. And he walks outside in his, is that a Captain America shirt, or is it just a circle?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to what he was wearing.
Yeah, whoa. We're talking about fashion now? Was not.
Yeah, I think it was the Captain, because he talked about like in comic books.
Oh.
It's one of his few traits other than being blonde.
He likes comic books, and he likes Avatar.
He likes space.
He speaks Na'vi, and he pretends to like space.
I don't know if he pretends or if he does like space. He just doesn't know that was Mars. I can't tell, actually.
Future scene.
Yes.
Hey, is that the shirt? Is that the shirt that he wears that is short sleeves but has long sleeves like sewn into it underneath the short sleeves? Nice. That's probably even before 2009 when that was like acceptable.
Early 2000s.
All back. Yeah.
Yeah, so he walks out, Sam gets slushied, and they say, welcome to Glee Club, Lady Lips, which Is it?
We already know that he is going to get bullied, so the conversation previously still doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
So-
so he gets bullied for being in Glee Club. Now I'm confused. Like how much? Now he already
Just
has
now?
he has a target on his back now. So
He has a literal target on his shirt.
oh my god, Cullen, you're such a good eye.
Can I just...
Yeah, I don't understand now the bullying thing because of Kurt, because he already has a target. Maybe this show doesn't make sense.
Whoa.
It's
Can I just point
a
out,
weird
though,
high school dynamic.
my Glee boyfriend is so much like a golden retriever. He is loyal
Yes.
to a fault, just like a good dog. He's a good dog.
We have a working theory that Sam is actually a golden retriever who made a deal and ended up in a human's body.
He looks like a dog.
He looks like one. He can fit a lot of tennis balls in his mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good point.
So, an interesting fact about Glee is that Glee had a habit of finding what the actors were insecure about and making fun of it for comedy so much that the actors developed like deeper insecurities.
Oh no.
Jesus.
And one of them was Sam's lips. He never felt weird about the size of his mouth or his lips until he went on Glee and they like made all those jokes about it.
I did not know that. Like, I knew obviously like a couple others we'd mentioned previously, but that is insane.
Well, that's unfortunate.
That
Positive.
I mean, I don't know. Ryan Murphy is an enigma.
Is an interesting thing I think about when I write is it's like if you're gonna, it's like I never want to be like, and this character is super ugly because I'm like a real human being has to play them.
Right.
Like unless they're gonna be wearing makeup or prosthetics, you don't want to be like, hey, you get to play the Uggo.
Right.
Yeah.
Half the time they do that anyway, and a beautiful person plays the ugly person, the person who's supposed to be ugly.
Like every high school makeover movie.
Yes, and then all of us normal people are like, wow, we must be terrible looking.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kurt goes into the showers while Sam is showering and releases him from the duet. And Kurt and Sam's like, guys don't usually talk in here. And Kurt's like, I'm setting you free. And Sam's like, did I offend you? And he's like, no, I just think you should do a duet with someone who society deems more appropriate. And then he tells him that there's special shampoo for color treated hair.
So, okay. In this whole storyline, Sam's had his shirt off like 3 times. And that makes me uncomfortable because we always see him, like we've seen him now multiple times with just without his shirt, in a towel. I don't think I remember, like, when was the last time we saw Finn's shirt off? Like, I don't even know.
It's an actor contract thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thing where Sam was initially brought on to be a love interest for Kurt, but he ended up having more chemistry with Quinn, they decided.
Oh, yeah.
But so in his contract, it was like, you will be shirtless. And some actors have in their contract that they will not be shirtless. An example is like on Riverdale, like Archie's shirtless like every 10 seconds. But like Kevin, who's like the gay guy, he's like muscly, but any scene where all the other guys are shirtless, he tends to like have a shirt on. And it's because that like in his contract, his agent probably worked out that he doesn't have to be shirtless.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I just don't know why Sam has to be shirtless when like he was shirtless with Finn, and I'm like, why are you shirtless? Why does this have to be in the locker room? I don't really want to look at your body right now. It was just weird.
That's you, Hannah.
Well, no.
I didn't mind.
I just like, it felt like we were being forced to like objectify him, and I'm like, but he's actually a really interesting character in this episode. I don't know. It was just really weird.
Every teen drama has the guy with abs, and that's Sam in Glee.
It used to be Puck, but then he went to juvie.
If you're waiting for Finn to not have his shirt on, I think all you have to do is wait until your next record.
Oh,
Somebody's watched ahead.
spoilers.
Oh my goodness!
I have to
I
mentally prepare.
Yeah, so he releases Sam from the duet, and Kurt sings a song from Victor Victoria, something I've never heard of.
Really?
I've heard of it, but
Yeah.
I did not recognize the song.
What
I
was
actually think
Jazz
this,
is Hot? What was it?
I
It's
just don't know the name of the song.
Lay Jazz Hot.
Lay Just Hot. Yeah, that sounds right. But yeah, no, I think I actually discovered Victor Victoria. I haven't seen it, but I've listened to some of the music because of the show. So like, I actually think I discovered it because of Glee, because of this number.
I have to be honest.
Okay.
Kurt doing a duet with himself was not as interesting as I think it could have been with him actually doing a duet with someone else, because that's how duets work.
That's like vocal masturbation, as Santana says.
I'm hilarious.
And then he tried to explain like the meaning of the song and like exploring different
Male and female.
male
sorry.
and female sexualities, and I was waiting for that in the song,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and I did not get it.
No, it's like
You
about
have-
jazz.
Yeah.
The
you
song
have-
is not about that.
Yeah, you have to like vaguely understand what the concept of Victor Victoria is, and I don't even really know what it is, but only because I've connected what Kurt has said about that performance that he just did, combining that with vague knowledge of the show. I'm like, oh, okay, that's what the show's about, but they could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, like, I think the show would be about what he talked about,
Yeah,
but the song
would.
definitely was not.
Exactly. Like the number, because he's wearing a split outfit and he's got like half of his face with certain makeup and half with other, and like it just, I have a lot of questions. I genuinely like the number, but I have some questions about like the structure of it within the world. So, okay. We start off in the choir room, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to do this duet with myself, which I thought he was about to pull out a boombox and sing along to a pre-recorded track, which would have been awesome.
That hasn't been discovered yet.
Right. Well, yeah. So, okay. But they start in the choir room, and he literally turns and starts his number. And then, boom, they're in the auditorium, and he's performing the full number. Presumably in the same day, ? Presumably did he sing it twice? Once without all the choreography and once with? I'm really confused and I need answers.
Also, how do they learn this choreography so quickly?
That's a great question. I don't think
A
we have an
question
answer.
we've had.
Like there
For
are like 12 people on
millennia.
the stage with him.
Yeah, 12 40-year-old dancers. Because if
In costume.
yeah. Yep. And there's like backdrop and yeah, but like everyone's watching in the auditorium and they also presumably must have watched it in the choir room. So like I don't know anything anymore.
That's his duet tactic, is getting them to sing twice, listen to him sing the same song twice.
I feel like
Each time in a slightly different key.
and I think that there's a little bit of magical realism happening. I think
you're right. I think based on what I've seen, like these things can't really be happening.
no.
They have to be just like what the vibe was in the choir room. It would have been like this if we actually put it on, kind of thing. There's just
But
no
see,
way.
if they wanted to do that, then they should have cut back to the choir room at the
Right.
end of the performance.
And they should have never shown us in the auditorium everyone watching. They could have done that.
Yes,
Or they could have just done it all in the auditorium. Like Kurt's like,
exactly.
we're going to the auditorium because I'm Kurt and I want to do it on stage. Like they would have solved my logic issue by doing one of those options. And yeah, so I guess
They were all in the writer's room, and they're like, how do we get from this scene to this scene?
no one will
You know
ask
what?
about it.
Who
No.
cares?
Nobody will care. It's 9:00 on a Tuesday.
We're going home.
It is refrigerator logic because I didn't think about that during the episode.
Really?
No, I'm just like, when an episode of Glee happens, I just let it wash over me. And I'm just like, yep, this is what's happening in Glee.
I
Normally,
tried so hard for that, but
the crazy thing is, I know this has happened before, but I just like all of a sudden latched onto it here, and I'm like, wait a second, I've been duped.
I assume
Part
because
of
because I've like started watching in season 2, I assumed like, oh, maybe they just explained this crazy stuff like in season 1. Like somehow we just learn like that it's very doable to have 12 people, learn this whole dance number for your 3-minute. I mean, it's not even for anybody but them. It's like
Yeah.
like these
every
like.
time. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Every time we talk about Glee and all of the like random stuff that happens, I feel like we're all on a podcast talking about conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
conspiracy theorists, like talking
Alien.
about
Aliens
Yeah.
is the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think part of the reason it comes up is because it's kind of a boring number, at least in my opinion.
I
And
actually kind of love it.
ooh, this is
This was-
Cullen and Han have different opinions.
So like, I definitely think it wasn't as like amazing as some of the other ones, or like affecting, but yeah, I remember liking it when I first watched it, and then like I remember it coming on and liking it again. So yeah, I don't know, I really liked something about it.
Had that something something.
Something little Le Jazz hot.
So after Sam gets slushied, Quinn sees it and she takes him to the bathroom to nurse him like he has a war wound, like they always do.
Because slushies are like shrapnel to the face.
And she starts cleaning him up, and I actually love this scene where she's like, oh, the blueberry ones are the worst. I was looking like a creature from Avatar down there. And he's like, Lor Minari, it means you have beautiful eyes in Navi, the Avatar language.
And she's
She
like,
could not have looked
"Okay."
more like disgusted.
Can I just say, Sam becomes more of a beautiful person to me every time he opens his mouth.
I'm loving that you love him, because I wrote 5 times on my notes, oh my god, what is Alyssa gonna think of this?
I loved every part of Sam.
Oh, okay.
I mean that in every way.
Wow. Ooh, it's hot in here. Yeah, no, like, he's just so fun. Like, I don't remember him being this fun.
I am so happy that he's my Glee boyfriend.
Yeah, you really lucked out.
We took a Who's Your Glee Boyfriend quiz, and Alyssa got Sam.
But I hadn't met him yet, so.
Is it the quote v.com one?
I think it was BuzzFeed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
BuzzFeed is the trusted source from Gleeboot.
Yeah.
I also wrote in my notes, like 3 times. I was like, "Oh my god, Diana Agron is so pretty." Like, I was
She's
literally
gorgeous.
distracted by just like how beautiful she is, and she's just so.
Guys.
She's just such a really cool
Who?
character.
Quinn.
Oh, sorry, Quinn. But
Oh
yeah,
my
like I was
gosh.
literally like, the actress is so gorgeous, and she's just like doing such a good job that like I'm captivated by her literally anytime she's on screen.
Lor Minari.
She has beautiful eyes. So a fun fact about Avatar language is, so Disney has that Avatar world at Animal Kingdom.
That
in
no
a
one
closed...
is at right now.
No one is
Yes,
at right
yeah.
now as I say this. But in the ride, like, there's a shaman song, and someone like Googled it and like had found the Avatar fan people who speak Na'vi, like translated it, and it's just like wood sprite, nature, Awa, wood sprite.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense. I would actually be shocked if it was like a legitimate song with lyrics that made sense.
In our Glee boot, that's the duet they'll sing.
Because because so Glee is now owned by Disney because they own Fox, so we could
Yeah.
definitely do it.
Yeah.
Yep. So Sam starts to have feelings for Quinn because who wouldn't? She's beautiful, and he asks like, "Oh, like why are you in Glee? You're the head cheerleader." And she's like, "Those guys were pretty cool to me when I was no longer on top." And so now that he's no longer doing a duet with Kurt, they decide to do a duet together, and they're practicing in the astronomy room. And he's like, "I love space. That's Venus, planet of love." And she's like, "That's Mars, planet of war." And he's like, "Which one are we on?" And she's like, "Earth."
Okay, here's some conspiracy. What if
Yes.
he said Venus incorrectly on purpose, just to get that line out? Which one are we on?
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
He's 2
But
steps ahead of us.
I could see this happening because some person at his boarding school told him to try it,
Oh yeah, he went to an all-boys boarding school.
which we find out later in the episode.
And yeah, so they start rehearsing, and then things get steamy, and he tries to kiss her, and Quinn is like, "I can't do this. This is the year of me. I need to find ways to keep out of Santana and torture Rachel."
Yeah, those 2 lines right there. So I watched the episode twice, and I missed that the
Wow.
first time. The second time, I was like, "Oh damn!" Like why? And of course, having not watched season 1 or whatever, I'm like, "Why? Why is she wanting to torture Rachel? Like that seems harsh."
Yeah, why does she still want to torture Rachel?
Because Ryan Murphy is like, "Quinn's mean."
Oh,
And
that's
then
right.
The show itself forgets, and we forget, and we're like, "We like Quinn," and he's like, "Quinn's mean."
Yeah. And then like the Santana thing, Santana used to be head cheerleader, and then when Quinn got back onto the Cheerios, Santana was knocked down. So like now Santana's still trying to like get back at her, which like we haven't seen. So like, I don't know. It's more
It's all
off screen
conspiracy.
stuff. It's all
Also,
off
here's a-
screen.
Yeah.
Here's a general question: are any of the Brittany Santana Quinn are any of them like initially doing Glee to like spy for Sue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Okay.
3, actually, I think.
Okay,
And then they
that
all
one of the
like it.
episodes kind of like I got the vibes that was like why they were doing it, but they also seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Back when Quinn was dating Finn.
What was their couple name? Was it Quinn or Finn?
Shit, that's a good question. What was it?
I don't know. I don't think they had many stands.
That's unfortunate.
It was Habre. Their last names put together.
Mm.
Hudson and Fabre. I don't know.
Or Fudson. That sounds sexy. That sounds sexy.
Well, that would be Finn Hudson. He's F Hudson Fudson.
So Quinn is like, "I can't do this," and then Finn talks to Sam and is like, "I can't believe you tried to kiss her. She's super edgy about that stuff." And he's like, "Yeah, Puck's gonna try and beat my ass, and like, I hope you're not mad at me." And Finn's like, "No, I'm over her. I'm dating Rachel, who talks a lot, but I love her." And then Rachel talks to Quinn and is like, "I think you should really do a duet with Sam." And what was her reasoning again? That you want to be on top in everything you do, and Sam's a talented singer and make you on top.
Yeah, and she's like, didn't she say like we want healthy competition for second
number 2.
place? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so like even like before that thread, Rachel and Finn are talking about like, oh shit, we have to throw the competition, and they're like, we're gonna do a really offensive song. So they even go to Quinn and Sam knowing that they're gonna do a specific number. So like they're like fully setting it up.
Because they're like, it's such a chore being the it couple in Glee, and I'm like, they're only the it couple to themselves.
Yeah, honestly, like we're seeing a new it couple develop, and I am here for it. Quinn
Well,
and Sam
okay,
all the way.
let's be fair. Only Rachel was saying that it's a chore. Finn just goes along with everything.
Yeah, their relationship is toxic.
Depends on the episode. I thought it was kind of cute this episode.
Really? I still
Yeah.
thought it was kind of weird.
I just like when he's like, I love Breadstix, but he still supports her anyway.
Yeah, they were like we talked earlier about how this episode was all kind of intertwined, and I think they were what made it kind of intertwined. They just kind of had their
Mhm.
they were the puppeteers of all of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and so Sam and Quinn decide to do the number together, and they sing Lucky, which was, who initially sings that? It's
Jason Mraz.
Jason Mraz,
Colby
Calais.
Calais. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it as if we all didn't know, or like the three of us who talked didn't know. 'Cause,
I forgot it, and then as I
suddenly
was
remembered.
thinking, yeah, I was like, who? It was Colby Calais because she sings Bubbly. And was it Jason Mraz or Matt Nathanson?
True.
Yeah.
I didn't know at all.
Yeah.
So
That's why I made that
The
addendum,
three
because I
of
was like, the
us?
three of us who talked.
yeah, I heard that.
Have you heard that song before, Alyssa, though?
Yes,
Okay.
actually, I commented while
She
we were
did.
watching. I was like, this song was pretty popular around the time that this episode came out, probably. Yeah, I remember when it was popular.
Because before they start singing Lucky, we have Rachel and Finn do their number they do with You I'm Born Again, dressed as like a priest and like a New England nun.
So, okay, what is that song from? I don't even know.
Hell.
Yeah, it's
My
awful.
nightmares.
With You, I'm Born Again.
I actually got up and left to do something during that song. That's how terrible.
So I loved that number so much. I literally was laughing so hard because I thought her outfit, Rachel's outfit specifically, was so bananas. And then I was like, I would scan each of them for little things, and I was like, I love this, I love that, I love Finn's collar, and he's also wearing
the priest
jeans.
collar.
Yes.
He's playing the cool casual priest, the one that's with it and leads youth group.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he leads youth
Yes.
group, exactly. And then everyone, lots of face journeys. I love a good face journey in the Glee audience. So everyone's squinting, and it's just so uncomfy for everyone. And then Gwen is like, I wanted to punch you both or something like that.
Yeah.
It was I laughed
'Cause
so hard.
It's especially offensive to Quinn because she's so
Yes.
religious. And it was funny that Finn would come up with that because he's like, we just don't need to do a bad song. We need to do an offensive song. And
Yes.
Alyssa was straight up like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, the thing was
You've already done offensive. Why?
I also don't know how Shu would be able to tell what is and isn't offensive, because he has done a lot of offensive things on this show.
The thong
So-
song.
Toxic,
Oh my
just a
God.
couple episodes ago. You know?
Yeah, he's like, I'm really disappointed in you, and that's offensive. And I'm like, Rich, coming from you.
Yeah, calling the kettle black, right?
Which he says someone says at one point, and Brittany's like, that's so racist.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, no, oh, what else was I gonna say? Oh, Rachel's like, what? Oh my God, I didn't know we were so offended. No, Finn,
One of
let's
them's
go
like,
sit down.
Shocked.
I'm shocked.
Shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked.
For someone who wants to be an actress, they're pretty obvious actors.
Yeah. She better
Yeah.
work on that before she graduates.
Yeah, my
It
first
was-
my first watch of the episode, I zoned out during that song, and kind of came to when they were all like, that was rude. I was like, oh, what did they do? So I paid special attention to it the second time, and I thought it was hilarious. Just everything about it was so
Yeah.
funny. The jeans
Well,
on
on the breeze.
that was incredible.
They're
a
uber
real
casual
thing.
jeans.
It's a real thing.
Yeah,
I
but
went to Kings Island with a priest like that.
The priest in jeans.
Yes.
in jeans.
Well, technically he was a deacon because his name was
Oh.
Deacon.
His name was
Okay.
Deacon, or his title was Deacon?
His title was Deacon, but we all called him Deacon because
Got it.
everyone on the bus. Well, okay, so he was fairly attractive.
Alyssa's Corner. Oh.
Yes, Alyssa's
Whoa!
Corner.
This took a turn. All right, tell me. I'm here.
Okay, come on. You can't, just because someone's a priest doesn't mean they're not
No,
attractive.
I'm not saying that. I'm just here for it.
Okay, so he was fairly attractive, and he was going with the youth group, which was like young adults, okay? And there were a lot of girls, and they kept calling him by his first name, and I could tell he was really uncomfortable.
Oh.
So I was like, what do you want us to call you? Because that's very important. And he looked at me and he goes, you all can call me Deacon. And I was like, all right, good thing I asked.
So what's really funny about this story, besides the whole thing, it is great, but I think one of the other Alyssa's Corners that you had was also about a similar topic in which you were trying to clarify a teacher or figurehead's name.
Yes! Yes, I remember! Names are important! Especially those people who are in authoritative, like, positions, but they haven't learned how to navigate them yet. You just have to give them a little nudge in the correct direction.
I love it.
I love at the end of this number, Mike starts to clap and Tia just
she's
puts
like,
her
no.
hands down.
She's like, no, Mike, no. I also so for the Quinn and Finn number,
or the Sam Quinn.
Yeah, sorry. Wow, sorry about that. Yeah, Sam and Quinn number. I was literally like, their chemistry is amazing. Like, so good.
When she's like plucking the guitar chords,
and like when they're like holding hands and she's looking at him and she like gets like shy, it's so cute. Like,
they're adorable.
I love them, and I don't even remember them being a couple, so this is new for me.
Yeah, it's they have great chemistry, and their Lucky wins the competition really only because Finn and Rachel voted for them.
Yep.
Well,
everyone. There's a
also
little
very
quick shot of all the votes.
There should have been a rule where you can't vote for yourself.
Well, we should talk about well, one vote I noticed was Kurt Elizabeth Hummel.
I think that was Quinn. Quinn voted for that. Yeah.
It was so weird because of the way it was cut. I was like, I watched that sequence like 3 times to try to figure out who it was, and I was like, is this Kurt or someone else? And I could not figure out who it was. So I'm glad I got the clarification, because I thought it was him.
I got the vibe that everybody voted for themselves except for Rachel and Finn, because he says by 2 votes.
Yeah.
And so I assumed...
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. I mean, literally one of the votes just said me. I think that was Brittany.
Probably.
Like, how do you determine who is me?
Unless it was Kurt.
Maybe.
He did that. But yeah, like the cut was so weird that I was like, I don't know who has written any of these things.
Right.
Yeah, so Sam and Quinn win, and she's like, this is so not a date because they're going to Breadstix. And then they're at Breadstix and they're talking, and it's like an awkward date because he's like, oh, what happened to me, if what happened to you happened to me, I would have transferred to the moon out of embarrassment. And Quinn's just like, yeah, great. And he's like, oh no, like, I just mean like you're really brave to have gone through this, like, and to have kept holding on, like that Avril Lavigne song that they all sang to you. And then he's like, I know too what it's like to have a secret you're ashamed of. And she's like, oh, so you are gay? And he's like, no, I put lemon juice in my hair.
Which, may I point out, putting lemon juice in your hair is not dyeing it. And everyone knows putting lemon juice in your hair doesn't work unless you're already very light blonde, or like light brown, maybe.
Yeah, he's pretty much already there anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's basically putting that sun-in stuff in your hair. Yeah, you already have to be blonde, because otherwise, if you're brown, that's going to turn your hair orange. Like a really, like, weird color orange.
It doesn't even turn your hair orange. It doesn't do anything. I tried it.
How dark was your hair?
It was not super dark.
Yeah.
Because I put it in during the summer, like when I actually spent time outside when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So it didn't do anything.
I had a friend who did that, and she had dark brown hair, and it turned her roots weirdly orange. I don't know how that ever turned out, actually, but that's what happened to her. So if you have
My hair
dark
doesn't
brown
take color
hair,
well.
guys out there, don't put sun in your hair. Just don't.
Yeah. So lemon juice is not an actual thing where you can dye your hair blonde. He was already blonde.
Yeah.
Hey,
He
Cullen,
also, yeah,
you passed over his
Matthew McConaughey.
horrendous Matthew McConaughey
Oh,
impression.
I was about to get into the because he's like, "Come on in." All his impressions that he does throughout this show kind of sound the same, and he does this Matthew McConaughey impression that's really bad.
He didn't
Do you
even
want to give
like,
us a
the
sample,
key
Michael?
phrase.
Oh, of what he did?
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, first of all, if you do a Matthew McConaughey impression, what you do is all right, all right, all right.
Right. That's what
And
I said.
he was like, hey, hey, which is like 2/3 of a Fat Albert impression. It was so not accurate. I feel like they asked him to do that like on set. Like
Right.
he tried like maybe they wrote a different actor impression, and he was worse at that. And they got to Matthew McConaughey, and they were like, we got to wrap up.
Yeah. They're like, it's 3 a.m. We have to get out of here.
And that's where Quinn's like, "Does this work on girls at your school?" And he's like, "I went to an all-boys boarding school."
Which automatically just makes him that much more endearing.
Yeah, because it's like he doesn't know how to talk to girls because he really hasn't been around them. And so it's like, he's just so good. He's so wholesome.
He is. He's like a golden retriever.
Hey, I can back that up. I went to an all boys school. It wasn't a boarding school, but I went to an all boys high school. And so, you're not around girls, and so you start watching Avatar 6 times a day.
To try to figure it out, to crack the code.
Yep.
Did you learn Navi?
Sadly, no.
I literally thought you were going to sigh and then start speaking Navi.
That would be incredible. Although I could have just, mumbled some nonsense and claimed it to be Navi.
Exactly. We would have been
Are
like,
you all
wow,
into
oh my god.
Fact check.
Oh yeah, we take facts very seriously on the show. We would have caught you. JK, we would not have.
I speak Navi.
She can say wood sprite, one of the few words. In
I don't actually
I
speak.
can. What is their god called? I can't even say that word.
Ewa.
Ewa. I was gonna say Yahweh, but that's someone's actual god's name. Oh, yikes. I can't even speak any Navi. It's awful. Well, I've got plenty of time to learn, quarantine.
Quarantine. We should make a teen drama called Quarantine.
Quarantine.
Oh no!
Nailed
And
it.
It's shot like. Have you all seen either Unfriended or Searching? Either of those
Well,
movies?
I haven't, but I'm familiar with the.
They're shot like
the
through like
structure
the
of it.
like a computer
Yeah,
screen
Webcam.
or whatever.
webcams.
Yep. That's
Mhm.
what.
Interesting.
That's how Quarantine will be shot.
That's actually a really good idea, guys. It's in the works. We have to cut this from the episode.
Oh boy!
The secret project we're working on now.
Can you just like
We have
audibly
officially put a
copyright something?
copyright on it.
Okay, time stamped. Whenever this is published, we have claim on it.
On
It
Quarantine.
is copywritten
And
through
it
my
goes
mouth.
it goes without saying. Obviously, Quarantine is spelled with T
Yes, of
T-E-E.
course.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, that's good to clarify if we're doing this
Yes.
verbally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this whole so at Breadstix, Quinn puts away the coupon. She's like, "We're not going to use." Yeah, she's like, "We're not going to use this," and he's like, "Why?" Because he's like, "On the first date, a gentleman always pays."
I thought it was cute, but I was also like, no, Quinn, you're better than this, like, old school thought. But then I'm like, no, this is how she grew up, so I get it.
For
So
sure.
it was a lot of complications in that small moment for me. But also, that girl gets 2 free dinners. She is so smart.
Yes.
Smart.
She should have given him the coupon.
She's like, I want to go back to Breadstix later.
Exactly. She's like, I'm
Also-
gonna take my mom.
Did you all notice on the envelope it says dinner for 2?
Yes.
Do restaurants do that? Like, I want to buy a dinner for 2 coupon. What does it even mean? Like, is it just all your food is free if it's just 2 of you, or is it like 2 entrees?
Interesting.
I think it's like in chain restaurants, I feel like that isn't a thing. But for local restaurants, you can basically like just go in asking for a coupon, or like you go into a local restaurant, you ask for a gift card, and they're like, "Oh, we don't do gift cards, but we're gonna write your name down, and the next time you come in, it's gonna be a free meal." So I'm guessing it's something like that, where it's like it's very local, so they just have this coupon, and then it's something like all your food is free up until like this particular dollar point.
Well, it's a chain because Santana
Yeah.
called the
Corporate
manager
office.
corporate.
Yeah.
And get the manager fired
Oh no!
when she brought the wheelbarrow for Breadsticks.
And I
So
mean,
your
the-
attempt for logic.
The envelope
I
had
tried.
printed on it dinner for 2. Like, this is a set thing that they offer. They offer a
Mm.
dinner for 2 coupon. The
I would
details we
guess-
don't know, but
That's
Dinner
the
for 2
props
up until
department's fault.
a point.
yeah.
Yeah, the props department gets slack for that.
So the end of this whole big Sam, Quinn, Kurt, Finn, Rachel is
Best shot of
Kurt-
the episode. Oh, are you? Am I jumping ahead?
I think you're jumping ahead to because Kurt's
How
making
dare.
a lot of sad faces during
Not the best.
There.
Yeah, those are not the best shot of the episode.
yeah. But then Rachel comes up to him and is like, I think we're more alike than you think, and he's like, that's a terrible thing to say to someone.
I loved
How
that line.
could you?
That was so funny.
And she's like, you're lonely, I get it. And so she offers to sing a duet with him. I had to look up, it's Good Times Are Here Again
Mm-hmm.
/ what was the other
Happy
song?
days.
Happy
It was
Days.
Happy Days
Days
are here again / Get Happy.
Yes.
And they sing a little duet together at the end of this is the very end of the episode, yeah.
Yep.
And what was the best shot of the episode, Michael?
So we're still at Breadsticks, and they pan from once she says like a gentleman always pays, and we pan to Brittany by herself nosing a meatball
Yeah.
on her plate.
That's the best shot in the series. I love that
Maybe.
moment.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was sad.
Just and
Which
she
has its own little subplot.
she mentioned doing that
Yeah.
in a conversation with Artie before. Which did we just completely skip over all the Artie Brittany stuff?
We're going.
Is that on
We're gonna
purpose?
get there.
Okay.
Yes, we're going back for it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we try and tackle things storyline by storyline. Because when we
Gotcha,
try
gotcha.
scene by scene, it goes on even longer than this.
Yeah, this one was especially difficult because all of that stuff was so intertwined. But we got like the chunk of the episode.
Yeah, we
Which
got
is
the
great.
main stuff.
Yeah.
So now we just have the Santana and Brittany and the Tina and Mike.
So
Yes.
okay, so I just want to talk about Rachel and Kurt's number a little bit.
Yeah.
Lots of Leah Michelle Squint singing and like chin pointed down to the side singing. It was too much, and I was actually annoyed. And I think it's because I accidentally put myself into this box where like I always have to talk about her facial expressions, and now it's kicking me in the ass. So I was really annoyed during that number, even though I have listened to that song specifically on repeat so many times because I think their voices sound really, really beautiful together in that number.
Yeah, I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, I think their voices actually really do go well together. I remember thinking that as I was watching it.
All right, so Santana and Brittany, they're making out in Brittany's bedroom.
Sweet lady
And-
kisses.
Sweet lady kisses, and Santana's like, just because we're making out doesn't mean I'm in love with you. Puck's been in the slammer for 12 hours and I'm like a lizard. I need something warm beneath me or I can't digest my food.
She also mentions having lady babies with her, and I'm like, wow, Santana, way to be subtle.
And Brittany talks about, we should do a duet together. We should sing Melissa Etheridge, Come to My Window.
Yeah.
Gay icon, Melissa Etheridge.
Yes.
I never caught that joke before, or that nod, and I was like, oh, I love it. And she's like, oh no. So Brittany seems to have real feelings for Santana, but Santana just wants the breadsticks. And so she asks Mercedes, because she's like, yeah, I put weird things into your food where you're not looking. But like, we're the two best singers at this school. And like, it's breadsticks. They're legally not allowed to stop giving you breadsticks. I brought a wheelbarrow, and when the manager tried to stop me, I called corporate and got her fired.
I love that. It's so good because I'm picturing it happening, and it's like she's literally probably like sitting at the table with herself and be like, I'm calling corporate right now. And the manager's like, okay, yeah, whatever. And they're like, they said that you have to give me this wheelbarrow or you're fired. Like, I
appreciate the like a popular cheerleader girl not being carb adverse.
Yes.
Yeah, positive representation right there.
Everyone fucking loves breadsticks.
Yeah.
But they're long croutons. We're not talking Olive
true.
Garden breadsticks.
You're right. You need 60 of those croutons to equal one Olive Garden breadstick.
But when she was talking about it, I was imagining Olive Garden breadsticks.
Yes, exactly.
So I was like,
same.
I was like, same Santana,
because
yeah.
that's before we got to seeing what the actual breadsticks were. Yeah, I bet that was disappointing to a lot of people.
Is this the first time they go to breadsticks in the series?
No, but I think it's the first time we see breadsticks and actually understand that they're breadsticks.
Well, I think
I thought they might have been a table decoration the first time.
I think Finn and Bert, Kurt's dad, talk about how gross they are at one point.
Yeah, because they went to. Well, didn't they go to like a family dinner? I think that's where they went was breadsticks, but that was before like breadsticks was a thing in the show, right? Wasn't that?
I think it was after breadsticks was a thing.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't remember.
It's just we forget because we want the breadsticks to be better, and they're just not.
Yeah, it's our dream.
A dream is a wish your heart makes, and my heart wishes for better breadsticks.
So yeah, let's get back to more Santades. I hate that. Is there something better? Can someone help me?
Myrtana?
Myrtana? I like Myrtana. Santades.
Better than Santades.
Yeah, for sure. I literally wrote Santades ? Because I couldn't think of anything better.
So Mercedes agrees to sing with her, and they sing River Deep, Mountain High.
Yes. Okay.
It's a bop. They're so good at singing.
Yeah,
probably. So Santana has a lot of my top Glee cover spots, and we'll talk about one in the future. Cullen already knows what it is, but this one I have listened on repeat so many times because it is a fucking banger. It's so good. Their voices sound beautiful and angelic and fierce together. I love it so much. I could cry, honestly.
There's so much energy to the number. It's
bursting with energy. They do so well together.
So I have a fun confession to make. So one of the lyrics is, I love you, baby, like a schoolboy loves his pet. So this is a Hannah's Corner. Fun fact, I thought the lyric was like a schoolboy loves his hand and that it was a reference to masturbation for the longest time. I was today years old when I found out that wasn't it.
That makes more sense.
I think this is my last episode on Gleeboot. In fact, I think I'm just gonna cut out right now.
I thought they were saying like a schoolboy loves his bed.
I also
like,
that's what I heard. That's what I heard first, and so I was like, wait a second. I was like, oh, maybe they changed it for like the show recording, and then like the actual like track is different. No, I just misheard it my whole life. And the thing is, though, like, I went this whole time being like, that can't be the lyric. Like, there's no way. But I never got the energy or motivation to look it up and correct myself. So I chose today, and now I get to live this embarrassment on the podcast. I'm going to
glad you
see
could share it
myself
with all
out.
of us. So because Santana won't do a duet with Brittany asks Artie, and she's like, I think you're really cute. And he's like, you never talked to me before. And she's like, that's because I thought you were a robot. And she's like, I like the idea of wheeling you around. And he's like, what? She's like, yeah, like I just want to get you in a stroller. And they're practicing in Brittany's room, and they're trying to do runs on like this kiddie keyboard.
It's like easy bake oven version of an instrument.
Oh my gosh, you guys. This is the first episode where we see any of them practicing, and we see more than one set practicing.
Oh my god. Alyssa, I didn't even notice that. You're right.
That's a good
We
point.
see Brittany and Artie practice. We see Sam and Quinn practice. We see Rachel and Finn practice.
Oh my god. See what happens when you cut all the adults out? You have room for some logic. That's
Whoa.
amazing.
Some.
Also, let's just quickly talk about how Brittany's room looks like it's from like, I don't know, like the 1940s? I don't know what is going on there. It looks
It's
like she
an
lives in an
historical
attic. She lives in an attic in like someone's house. Like she doesn't live in her own parents' house, I think.
Why she's a little baddie.
Everything about her is just so weird.
She's great.
And he's trying to do runs with her, and she's a little off key, and she's like, nailed it. And he's like, Tina made runs look so easy. And then he's like, I have to go. I still have feelings for someone else. And she's like, the Clintons.
That was incredible.
Oh my god, it was so good.
And she's like, wait. And she picks him up and puts him on his bed. And she's like, you know, this would happen anyway, because it's important that she says this. You're on the football team, so this would have happened eventually. And then she's like, before a duet, we're going to do it. And Artie's like, am I about to lose my virginity? And they have sex. And then Santana later tells Artie, she's like, I don't mean to be a bitch. Actually, I do. Brittany's just using you for her voice, or your voice. And so Artie ends their partnership.
Well, she goes into the fact that like when I got in my accident and this happened to me, we didn't know like if I would be able to do like anything. And then when we found out we could, like that meant a lot to me, and you kind of took advantage of that. And it was like Brittany had a lot of really intense stuff thrown at her, and it was yike.
I was really mad. I was mad at Artie.
At Artie.
I was mad at Artie.
Interesting.
He had plenty of time to say no.
Right.
He had plenty of time to think about what was happening. They even had a conversation about it. In no way was any of that situation Brittany's fault. Just because he regretted it after it happened, it doesn't mean that she did any of that on purpose. Like, it's not like, you know, she went out trying to stomp all over. What was his line? You
stomped all over it.
You stomped all over it. And I'm like, that is not what happened, dude.
Because that's why I pointed out that she says, oh, this would have happened anyway. Like, she has a flippant attitude towards sex, which Santana points out. Because some guy's like, oh, Brittany, yeah, we had sex.
Yeah, that guy is 40 years old, by the way. The guy she pulled aside. He is a teacher.
But Brittany is like, oh, this would have happened eventually. She straight up is open about, like,
yes,
this is casual.
She's very open about it. And he has no reason. I'm not going to say he doesn't have a right to be angry about it, but he has no reason to make everything out to be her fault.
Yeah, I was really confused because I was like, it kind of felt like it was coming out of left field, him saying all this stuff, but then I was also like, I guess he has a point about that, but I was also like, I don't think this is like, Brittany didn't do that on purpose. Like, she just like didn't understand.
What, is she supposed to be a mind reader? She
Exactly.
can't even read a book.
Maybe part of his issue is he asks her if he can tell people that she is his girlfriend, and maybe he's thinking at that moment that she thinks it's more serious than it truly is.
Yeah, like that would have been a better, like, if it was a stronger baseline for his argument, because like I was just really confused as to where all that was coming from. I don't know, like I thought he was covering up for the fact that like he felt like he had betrayed Tina, but I think I was reading way too much into that. But yeah, I was just really confused by that whole part of the show.
I think from watching the Power of Madonna episode, I know that Glee kind of hates
Triggered.
women.
Yeah. And Madonna.
This is just kind of an example of that.
Yeah.
Where Brittany is just made to be the villain just because she's promiscuous.
Yeah, she likes sex, and she has sex with a lot of people, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. Again, look at how far we've come as a society. 9 years ago. Wow.
So they don't sing anything in the duet competition, which I was disappointed because I wanted to see what duet they would do.
For real.
Yeah, I was actually kind of looking forward to it until Artie proved once again how much of an asshole he is.
And that leads into Tina and Mike, our final storyline filled with Asian jokes.
Oh boy.
Their entire first conversation is he's uncomfortable because he's not really sure if he's comfortable singing a solo. Like, he's not sure if he can sing. And Tina's like, I want breadsticks. They have unlimited salad bowls. And he's like, you can get salad at dim sum. And she's like, there's chicken feet in the salad. I want regular salad. Here's something I want to say about dim sum. A, it's delicious.
I was going to say that.
B, dim sum is like brunch. Like, you eat it in the morning. They said we got dim sum last night.
For dinner. Yeah, that's not really how it's traditionally served.
I was also really confused about that. I was like, okay, maybe I'm wrong about what dim sum is. And so, like, also, I think she said dim sum like 5 times. And I'm like, I get it. Like, dim sum is an Asian thing, Glee. Thank you. Like, it felt like I was being hit over the head with, like, Asian references. Oh, it was so
It's like
weird.
they Googled, what do Asian people eat?
Oh, yikes. I bet you that's exactly what happened, too.
Oh, boy.
I wonder if that is the writers being like, this is from Middle America. We have to beat it into their skulls that, like, dim sum is a thing.
Maybe? I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't know that dim sum existed before I went to Boston.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Alyssa introduced it to me and her friend.
Yes, is that when we went with Pete?
Yeah, and then actually since then there's actually a place down here in Tampa used to do it, because now of coronavirus nothing is happening. And I took my mom and grandma, and like we go all the time. Like,
it's delicious.
So
very good.
Oh, I want dumplings. I want dim sum. Coronavirus, please stop.
Why hasn't Twitter canceled coronavirus yet?
Yeah, like coronavirus is like the most problematic thing that happened this year. Why isn't it canceled yet?
It's just too strong. We've never had an adversary like this.
It has no pride.
So, Mike is like, we need to go to Asian couples therapy, which thank God we don't see, because Tina's like, why does the couples therapy have to be Asian? And we're like, thank you.
Thank you.
For pointing out the racism in your own storyline, Tina.
Oh boy.
And then when Mike doesn't want to do it, Tina asks Artie, and Artie's like, I have a new partnership which has blossomed into something romantic.
Oh no, I think his exact words were, thank you for crawling back to me on your knees.
Something like that.
But yeah, it was real bad. I literally hate Artie.
I literally wrote he's still being super gross to her, and she's like actually just trying to be nice and be like, let's win this competition. Like, there's no reason for him. Like, this is that weird masculinity, that toxic masculinity that is pervasive in the show, and it's just like, Artie is really kind of like how Kurt's bearing the brunt of gay existence, Artie is bearing the brunt of toxic masculinity.
Yeah, Artie is gross. I'm sorry he's your Glee boyfriend, Hannah.
It's fine. Again, I thought I was gonna get Puck, so like I don't know who's better or who's worse. But I get it. I'm a garbage human being and I deserve garbage for a boyfriend from Glee.
No,
A Glee
Don't.
boyfriend? Yeah.
Don't let Glee convince you that women are trash. So Tina and Mike do sing from a chorus line, which is all about how someone can't sing. And it's really cute and funny.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
I
loved it
so much. It's so good. And like, yeah, like Mike isn't like a good singer, but like it looked like he was having fun, and it was just so good. I liked that it was telling about like what he's going through, and it was the duet with him and Tina. I couldn't stop writing notes about it. Like most of my notes are about that.
Also,
Tina looked like she was having such a good time too.
They are adorable.
Yeah, they killed that, and I think like props to Mike, because the idea of like singing and intentionally not completing a lyric seems very difficult.
Yeah.
And then like immediately jumping into the next line. So
yeah,
very difficult.
Good job, Mike. He's
Yay,
the least
Mike.
problematic character on Glee.
Honestly, though.
So that is the episode Duets. It was a good time. A good time was had by all, it sounds like. And it looks like it is Tina time.
Whoop, whoop.
Tina officially has 14 lines this episode.
She had a literal storyline to herself, and I was stunned.
Well, I mean, she shared it with Mike, but
right. Asian and
they
other
had
Asian.
Full conversations.
Yeah.
It was insane.
I literally wrote that in my notes. I'm like, they're having a full conversation.
Granted, when they had that conversation, they were literally told, shh.
That's
being in the
true.
library.
Yeah, that was the Glee writers being like, you only have this amount of time. Use it well.
So that's how we
And
get
they were
out of
in the
it.
library. That is a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's Tina time, and now it is. Should we do LVP and MVP?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who was your LVP this week, Alyssa?
Artie.
No hesitation.
Anyone have any questions about why Artie is my LVP? You can hit me up on Instagram.
Oh shit. Alyssa's ready to start some stuff.
I'm actually not. I'm a terrible social media person, so even if you did do that, I probably wouldn't know for like a year.
I was gonna say, she'll get to it in like a few months, so.
All right. What about you, Hannah?
I struggled to pick people to talk about in this segment, so like I actually just wrote them. I'm gonna second what Alyssa said and go with Artie, because he's just that toxic masculinity grossness that just is not being handled well. Didn't like it.
Michael?
Yeah, I think so. I'm only like, I've only seen, I think at this point, like 8 episodes. And so I have limited information to go off of for these people. But I would have to go. And this one's interesting too, because it is duets. Like everybody is tied to like somebody else. And so I sometimes might feel like, oh, if I don't like this person, do I not like the other one or what? But I think Artie is a good one to go for the LVP, just based off of just different like dumb justifications for why he feels how he feels, and he didn't sing at all. So
True.
Sorry, Artie.
Good point.
LVP.
Yeah, I'm going to be slightly different because I thought Artie sucked, but I'm going to go with Santana because she ruined things for Artie and Brittany.
Mm-hmm.
And Brittany, we forgot to mention this. Brittany, when Artie was like, you just used me to get to Breadstix, Brittany was like, but I really wanted to go with you. I was going to get that one long string of spaghetti like the Lady and the Tramp. And I was practicing rolling the meatball to you.
We forgot to talk about it. We said we were going to talk about it. Oh my God.
And that was such a adorably sad scene where Brittany is rolling the meatball by herself at Breadstix. Because she actually did have feelings for Artie. And Santana wants to control Brittany and Puck and just to keep people as her option. So she ruined things for Artie and Brittany. And I think that's really self-centered and gross. So no, thank you.
She also got that manager fired because she was being egregious.
True.
So, yeah, I'm a
Good
garbage
point.
human being.
Hannah, love yourself.
Uh,
All right. Alyssa, who is your MVP this week?
Sam. He's so cute.
Somebody has a crush.
Crush.
He's such a cute little golden retriever boy. Man.
He's supposed to be a
Creature.
boy.
But he's played by a man.
Yes, but also, like, I don't think he did anything this episode that I was upset with. And that's saying a lot when you're watching Glee.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, even when he went in to kiss Quinn, I wasn't too mad about it because he didn't really know, like, all of the backstory with her, and there was definitely something going on between them in that moment. And he apologized, and he was like, it's fine, we don't have to do anything. Like, he was just very... He was... what's a
polite?
good word? Yeah. He was polite.
Yeah, he has manners. It's
He
again,
does.
rare for people in Glee.
He is a polite person.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think he's the one who says that Finn and Rachel were rude. That's the word that he uses.
Mm-hmm.
So polite fits perfect.
Yeah, he was the first one to critique.
Yeah,
their
and he was
duet.
like brand new to the club, and he was like, yo, that's not cool.
It's like, I gotta speak up.
Yeah. Well, that just like again like solidifies my answer. I had MVP blank when I came into this, but Sam was definitely up there. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Sam because he was just so fun to watch aside from like all the things that Alyssa mentioned. And I actually think that like I think Finn right now, he doesn't act as much like a teenager like he did in season 1 where like we're like, oh my god, like the actor who plays Finn does like a pretty good job being a teen. I actually think the Sam guy who plays Sam, like he actually does a pretty good job playing this kid as a teen. I can like feel his like awkwardness and like his shyness stuff. So all around a good boy.
Michael?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kind of go the same direction. I'll make it a little different and just kind of combine Quinn and Sam, their duet as like one character. I think I lean more towards Sam, but I'll say that I think maybe his feelings towards Quinn or her like hesitation towards him help bring out his like goofy little demeanor. So that's why I'll give it to kind of both of them, but more towards Sam, I guess.
Is their relationship name Sin?
Ooh,
It is now.
that's better than Quam.
Quam.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah.
I think
I thought of Quam, and then I was like, wait, no.
I don't know. I kind of like them both. I kind of like Quam. It's like saying wham with a Q. Quam.
Or Clam with a lisp.
Yeah, because we all have lisps on this show.
I'm going to give an honorable mention to Brittany and her Lady and the Tramp dreams that got crushed.
Yeah, she deserves
Brittany's wholesome and deserves the world.
She got a participation award.
She got a participation award. But I'm going to go with Sam, too. Sam's really great in this episode.
Yay!
Sam!
Yeah, we love Sam. Now, what was your least favorite song, Alyssa?
Least favorite song? I'm gonna go with Kurt's song.
The Jazz Hot.
No, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go with Finn and Rachel's because I got up and left the room. So I didn't even watch it.
Which one? Which one?
Yes.
Okay, with you I'm born again.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's like legally acceptable for me to choose this song because I didn't watch it all the way through, but I think it points to the fact, yes, legally. We have very specific rules on this podcast.
Yes, if you did not watch the number, you have to pick it as your least favorite song. Those are the laws. You will be arrested and go to Glee jail, where Ryan Murphy pitches all of his story ideas to you 24/7 for 7 days.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that one.
Hannah?
So I actually had a hard time picking songs because I genuinely liked something about all of the numbers.
This was a good week for music.
Yes, it was actually a really good week. I even thought like the offensive number was fun to watch because I laughed through it. But I would say like the worst song for me was actually the other Rachel and Finn, "Don't Go Breaking My Heart." I love the song, and I thought
You're breaking my heart.
I thought it was good. It's just like it doesn't stick out to me as much. Like I was going through it and I was like, oh wait, I'm missing the other number. I was like, that's gotta be it. Like I couldn't even think about it at first because everything else kind of topped it. So it's kind of a default, I guess. Sorry.
Don't be breaking my heart.
Don't you be breaking my heart. Bust the
Michael,
windows through your car.
Bust your windows through your car. This is the one, not can't touch this, but the dun 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 dun. All right, Michael, what was your favorite?
My
least favorite.
Least favorite.
Yeah.
So this is definitely a competition between Le Jazz Hot and With You I'm Born Again. And if I'm just listening to the two songs, then I would say With You I'm Born Again is my least favorite. But in the episode, I disliked Le Jazz Hot more just because the idea of them singing that song with the priest jeans was just very funny to me. So I think if I'm going to treat it as like watching the episode, which one I dislike the most, I got to say Le Jazz Hot.
Fair. That was close for me. I ended up going with the Kurt and Rachel duet. They have nice voices, but I was kind of bored.
Yeah, for sure.
That number. So that's my least favorite. What was your MVP, Alyssa? Or your most valuable song? MVS.
Best song. What was your favorite song?
I'm gonna go with Mike and Tina's song.
Sing.
Yes, because I thought it was super cute, and we got to watch Mike dance, but also, would you know, he's pretty good at speaking really fast, which some people might call rapping, but I don't think that was rapping. I think it was just, like, speaking fast. With a beat.
I think a lot of people would call that rapping, but I do understand what you're saying. It's not quite rapping because
this song doesn't have a very rap vibe.
Is
right.
it called? I think the musical theater term is like a patter song. I think this is a patter song because it's like, yeah, like you're speaking really quick.
It's interesting. So I feel like maybe he could eventually be rapping at some point, but he
Only
probably
Artie
won't.
raps in Glee.
Oh boy.
Artie and
I think Sam raps at one point.
Shu.
And Shu.
Puck and Finn have rapped with Sam playing guitar a couple episodes ago.
But I feel like Mike would be good at it now since he's done a patter song or whatever you said. But it was super cute to watch, and they looked like they were having a lot of fun, and it was like emotionally open for both of them, which was also fun to watch.
It was like these kids actually have fun in this club.
Yeah.
They don't just have drama.
And that's why they're not on screen all the time, because they don't always have drama.
Hannah, what was your favorite song?
Also really loved the Mike and Tina number 100%. But I'm going with River Deep Mountain High because I fucking love that song. I am probably gonna go and listen to it after we're done recording. I want it played at my mummification. Like, I love this song so much.
You're getting mummified?
I think we've been over this, but yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that's how I want to go out. Well, I mean, obviously I would be dead, but like, I mean, go
But,
out
like, what-
into the afterlife.
It's a ceremony that we'll all be present for.
Yeah,
when Anubis...
you have to watch. Yeah, Anubis
Okay, there are
is there.
different cultures do mummification,
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to be
Egyptian.
more specific. But
Ancient
okay,
Egyptian
an
mummification.
Mummification.
You get to
All
watch
right.
them rip my brains out through my nostrils. I'm excited. Yeah, the song will be playing while they do that. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Michael, what was your favorite song?
Awkward silence.
This one won't be played at any sort of death ceremony for me.
Oh, that's
But
a shame. For
it's
someone
the
who loves
one-
covers so much.
It's the one I'm most likely to play while I'm in the shower to sing along with it, and I'm gonna go with "Don't Go Breaking My Heart."
Interesting.
I enjoy. There were several that I really liked, but I don't know. I think that one, I think it was mentioned that it was like forgotten. I think part of the issue is that it happened so early, and there
Yeah.
were so many interesting storylines, very easy to forget
Mm-hmm.
after we go through all these interesting things that are happening. But I liked it.
Don't Go Breaking My Heart was my favorite as well.
Woo!
What?
Wow.
Nobody chose Lucky?
I thought Lucky
I-
was cute, but
Yeah.
It was. Actually, I was really surprised that it won the Breadstix thing because
I know.
they weren't the best.
Well, the
I
competition was
sided
rigged.
with Santana. I would have jumped them. I've been like, she's saying Riverdale Mountain High. Like, that was amazing.
yeah, she's like,
Yeah,
I want my
think-
sticks.
I think they should have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely the best.
The only reason Sam and Quinn won is because Finn and Rachel voted for them.
Right.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
keep forgetting that.
Which I think
was
justifies
Stuart's vote.
that everybody voted for themselves except for Rachel and Finn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. I love a good Finn and
Don't go
Rachel
breaking
duet.
my
I love that song. It's been stuck in my head all day since I watched it. Yeah, it was fun. So yeah, that is our episode. Hannah, do you want to plug our SoMe's?
Yeah. So we are on Instagram and Twitter at GleebootPod. And then we're also on Tumblr, gleebootpodcast.tumblr.com.
You can follow my YouTube channel at your boy Ryan, YABOI Ryan on YouTube, and you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at your boy Ryan99.
You can look me up on Instagram. A.M.Swearingen.
Yeah.
Nope. Is that it? Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
You
so
just-
glad you guys know this because
Yeah.
I don't.
You got it.
Michael, do you have any social medias or improv teams or anything you want to promote?
Well, the improv stuff is of course on a hiatus, but I promote all the improv stuff on my personal things: Instagram, Twitter, at Michael Salot. It's SALOT. So go follow me and look for LA indie improv information.
Woo. Do you guys have any
Nice.
like recordings on YouTube or anything?
I think we have a recording that's like on a just kind of made last minute improv or YouTube channel that we had to like use to submit. I don't know what it is, but we have the recording, so we could put it on like a more public YouTube channel. We'll see if that happens. I doubt it does.
Stay tuned.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael, for coming and being on. I hope you had a good time.
I did. Thanks for asking me to be on. Honestly, I don't think I would have started watching Glee over this quarantine without this podcast, and now I'm just gonna watch all of Glee. So
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry about that.
I'm telling you, it's worth it just for the songs.
Yeah.
It has some good songs.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to watch season 1, you can just listen to our podcast and we'll summarize season 1 for you.
Maybe I'll do both because we might be quarantined until God knows when.
You should definitely do both. Do both.
I
Yeah.
should.
Listen along with us.
That
Watch
sounds
along with
pretty
us.
fun. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week where we talk about the Rocky Horror Glee show.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.